going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my second retro SummerSlam review. As I want to quickly review SummerSlam 1989. I wasn't going to do this review tonight. I watched SummerSlam 1989 last night, but I had a really long day today. I'm tired, but tomorrow I'm not going to have time to do anything except for my Raw Live review. So I got to pack up for vacation this week. So I'm just going to knock this review out right now, and I will resume, well, unless if I get time while I'm away to watch any more SummerSlams. So I'm not sure if I will be able to, but and I'll put this retro review series on pause at least then until I get back. But as I said before, this series is not going to be as rushed. I just don't want to burn myself out. I'm gonna, just make sure I get all these SummerSlams reviewed before SummerSlam 2018. Which I said before, I'm gonna review all the SummerSlams except for SummerSlam 2017 last year because I already did a live review for that. So that will be included in this playlist once the series is completed. So today we're gonna do SummerSlam 1989, which took place on August 28th, 1989, at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Overall, this SummerSlam was about the same as the first one, kind of average. I mean, this one definitely drew a lot more buys than the year before. I think '88's had like 400,000, and then this year's had like 625,000 or something like that, in buy rates or whatever heck those call them. This pay per view did have a lot of tag matches again. We had a great though Intercontinental Championship match, and the main event. I mean, I'd say for the first, I think this show had like not 9 matches, I believe it was. The first 6 were passable. The last 3 were like, they definitely were the show hands. I thought versus this show was definitely going to be a lot better than. I mean, 88 was just average for what it was, but this one is just, it was better in some ways, but I gave it a C also, the same grade as I gave 1988 SummerSlam. So it was pretty much just average, not bad, not terrible, but not bad either. So let's get right into it. SummerSlam 1989. We started off with a match. It was the tag champions, the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, with Bobby the Brain Heenan taking on the Hart Dynasty of Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim Neidhart. Now, the Brainbusters were tag champions going into this match. But this was a non-title match because before this match was made official, it wasn't for the tag champions until the Brainbusters won it on an episode of Saturday Night Main Event or whatever it was called back then. They had a good opening match, definitely good opening tag match again. Like I know I'm saying we had a lot of tag matches definitely back in the earlier days on pay-per-views since we didn't have that many pay-per-views. So they're trying to get a good amount of people on the show as it was. But these tag matches, some of them like once involved the Hart Brothers really capitalized. As I said, these tag matches continue to build also Bret Hart up as he was eventual a great single star in in the WWF and WCW also, of course, as he left for WCW in 1997. So it was definitely a good tag match to start off there. The Brain Busters, though, get the victory. And it went about, I think 15, 20 minutes also. So they did give them time. So the good time, though, in this match definitely was some of the best that was being shown there. So this is a good tag match to start off the show with B-. We then have a match. It was the Honky Tonk Man with Jimmy Hart taking on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. This was actually Dusty Rhodes' I think first pay-per-view match in the WWE since this was shortly after he came over from the NWA, or whatever it was called. It was decent. I mean, it was definitely a little bit like a shorter match. Just to put over Dusty Rhodes. I mean, the crowd got a great reaction, but the match was nothing really that legendary right home. But it was decent and a strong match. So I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good to see Dusty Rhodes definitely in action. Also, I don't get to see him. Didn't see him at all because I wasn't alive back at the time. For me, a late bloomer fan. But Dusty Rhodes gets the victory by pinfall over the Honky Tonk Man as well. We then had Mr. Perfect also taking on the Red Rooster, who I forgot. Last name is Taylor. Remind me the first name again of who this actually was. But the Red Rooster gimmick wasn't really that great of a gimmick, honestly, for for whoever the guy was. This is more of like a squash match. It was only about a 3-minute match for Mr. Perfect, as he was definitely a good upcoming star. definitely a great heel for the future. Unfortunately, though, they never really got him to be a main eventer in the world title. I don't think he ever did win the world title. I think he got a couple runs with mid card titles, but he never became really the main event star. I think there was some issues going on between them and him and Vince. Can't remember, which probably why also Curtis Axel, um, Mr. Perfect's son, didn't really get that big of a push either. Unfortunately, well, he's still around, but he's just being treated like a jobber. He has so much talent. But yeah, pretty much just a squash match to put Mr. Perfect over. So Mr. Perfect gets the victory over the Red Rooster. We had another fun tag match, a 6-man tag match. It was Tito Santana, Arriba! And the Rockers, HBK and Marty Jannetty, taking on Rick Martel and the Fabulous Rigos, real life brothers Jacques and Raymond, with Slick and Jimmy Hart in their corner. Fun 6-man tag match. This match was mainly came about because this was not too long after Tito Santana and Rick Martel split up after they were a tag team, and then Rick Martel turned heel and became the his model gimmick and whatnot. This is a narcissist that's really full of himself pretty much. And also, of course, the upcoming matches for the Rockers as well. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, which you all know, where their careers took off. Eventually, Marty Jannetty definitely could have been better, but Shawn Michaels just started his eventual Hall of Fame career. Pretty much also, definitely these 16s were these 6 men in this match definitely put it all on the line. I think it was definitely a really good match. I mean, again, as I said before, despite there being a lot of tag matches, these first few that we had in the show were definitely really good. Just showed the potential that all these teams really did have. So yeah, but the Martel and the Rigos get the victory. I believe they pinned Jannetty, I think it was. I can't remember what, but they get the win. But another great match. The match of the night, no doubt about it, for this show was the Intercontinental Championship match. It was the Ravishing Rick Rude taking on Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior last year's SummerSlam won the Intercontinental Championship off of the Honky Tonk Man, who had been on like a really long reign as Intercontinental Champion, as I said in my 1988 review. And then Warrior eventually dropped the title to Ravishing Rick Rude, who was definitely one of the best heels in the company at the time. And then, of course, this is a time also where Ultimate Warrior was definitely stepping up, like, the big card level, and definitely on the verge of becoming the next big star in the WWF, because he would win the title here, of course, thanks to the distraction from Roddy Piper. I believe this led into a feud with Ravishing Rick Rude and Roddy Piper. Ultimate Warrior eventually would go on to WrestleMania 6 to face Hulk Hogan in a title for title match. It was supposed to be more like a passing the torch match, but it didn't quite happen because Hogan was still getting the main event spots next couple years. WrestleMania 9, of course, we all know, he came out at the end just for no reason at all whatsoever and challenged Yokozuna to a title match and won the title, and that was right when Hogan was getting ready to leave. Of course, a lot of people were starting to get tired of Hogan being always in the main event spot. They just want to see something different. But getting back to this match, a great match. Again, just really established, Ultimate Warrior as, the next top baby face of the company, pretty much, winning the Intercontinental title and going on to eventually face Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania, and it just did a good job doing so. And again, I believe it planted the seeds also for a Roddy Piper and Ravishing Rick Rude feud also as well. So the near falls kicking out the crowd, which is really behind Warrior also in the match. That's what made it pretty good. By far, in my opinion, the best match of the night. Probably the best match we've seen for these SummerSlam reviews so far, I'd say, was this one. Ravishing Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior. This match was pretty fun too. It wasn't as good though as the other matches, but it was still a fun match. A 6-man tag with Andre the Giant and the Twin Towers, Big Boss Man, and Akeem, with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Slick taking on Demolition, Axe and Smash, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Demolition, of course, had just lost the tag titles to the Brainbusters. What I was talking about earlier, the Brainbusters were tag champions. This is before the match was made official, so the match that the Brainbusters had against the Hart Foundation was not for the tag titles. This is another decent, fun 6-man tag match with a bunch of big men like Andre and Big Boss Man and Akeem. Of course, this is also around a time where Andre started, to wear down a little bit also. He was definitely starting to show signs that he was getting towards the end of his career also, but I think he carried the match pretty well. along with Big Boss Man and Akeem also against the other team of Demolition and Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well. So it was a fun match, I'd say. Demolition and Duggan win the match, so everything's good. Then, of course, this is where the show starts to tank. We then have a short match, short, just bland match with Greg the Hammer Valentine with Jimmy Hart taking on Hercules. Greg Valentine wins. The match was just bland. It was boring. Wasn't really anything to it. It was just short, pretty much. Valentine's more sort of squashed Hercules, pretty much. Not much to really say about that. Then this match was not much better. It was the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase taking on Jimmy Superfly Snuka. They tried to bring back Jimmy Snuka again at his older age to have one last, good run as a veteran, but this match just showed that he just didn't really have it anymore. And then the finish was kind of cheap also, as well as DiBiase won by countout. Probably the worst match in the show, I'd say. So it just didn't make anybody look really good in this match. Really, just made Jimmy Superfly Snuka just look flat. Pretty much, I thought. So DiBiase wins by countout, and then we get to our main event. It was another tag match, not as good as last year's though. Of course, this tag match was it was following the WrestleMania 5 match between the formerly known as the Mega Powers. They were in the main event of SummerSlam last year against the Mega Bucks, but this year it was they were on opposing sides. It was the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Zeus with Sensational Sherry taking on the team of the current WWF champion Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake with Miss Elizabeth in their corner. So, as you all know, mentioned the Mega Powers exploded. It was probably because of Savage questioning Hulk Hogan, the actions he had towards Miss Elizabeth. Build up some tension there. They split up for a big match at WrestleMania 5, which was a classic. It was awesome. And of course, Savage began to verbally, abuse Miss Elizabeth. So Miss Elizabeth was more so side against him, and of course, Sensational Sherry teamed up with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, who is Zeus though? So this is also around a time where a movie came out called No Holds Barred, involving Hulk Hogan and a character named Zeus. Now, Zeus though was an actor, but not he could not wrestle. And that's what really hampered this match. They tried to throw in a professional actor into a wrestling match, which just did not work out very well. And that's a big lesson WWE learned pretty much. And that's the reason why this match was kind of poor, because he was just not a great in-ring performer. I gave this a little bit of a higher, grade than I wanted to for this match, because at least, the crowd got good pop, and Hogan, got the win, because Hogan's the face of the company at the time. And after, of course, they used Miss Elizabeth's purse in the match, and then at the end, Miss Elizabeth smacked Sensational Sherry across the face with the purse also. So that's how we go off the air with Hogan and Beefcake winning. And it was kind of just continuing the feud from WrestleMania 5, but also tying in with the No Holds Barred movie with Zeus. So this match was like not that great, but with the reaction Hogan got, I gave it a little bit of a better rating than I would have gotten it. But yes, Zeus wasn't that great of a performer in the match, I felt, in my opinion. But yeah, I said before, that's it for SummerSlam 1989. I gave this pay-per-view a C. Hopefully, we definitely start getting some of the better SummerSlams soon as well. There's a few I definitely cannot wait to watch. But what grade would you give SummerSlam 1989? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to always click my like and subscribe for content to come to this channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. Again, probably the only video to expect tomorrow is my live Raw review. And then again, just stay patient with me as I go on vacation this week. But I will try to keep up to date on the other reviews as well. Again, I'm leaving Tuesday morning, and I'm coming back the following Tuesday, May 1st. So, guys, I'm checking out. Till then, guys, have a great night, and I'm going to go get some sleep. Peace, everybody.